Welcome to Movie Film. I'm Carl, and continuing our journey into the films made by the WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment Company. So on our journey to find a WWE film that stars a WWE superstar that's actually pretty good, so far we've looked at two movies. The first one starred John Cena, that was The Marine, it wasn't very good. The second one was Surf's Up 2, which also starred John Cena, but also starred the likes of Paige and Triple H and Vince McMahon and surprisingly The Undertaker, and that also wasn't great either. So maybe today we're on to a winner, because today's film stars literally the biggest WWE superstar in the form of the Big Show. On top of the Big Show, you've also got a former Superman in Dean Cain. So, you know, strap yourselves in for this one. So the film today is Vendetta, if we haven't got around to that already. Now you might be wondering, Carl, of all the movies WWE have made down the years, why pick Vendetta? Well, the film isn't that old. It's only from 2015, it's only 6 years ago. So it still should be pretty good visual-wise and sound-wise, at least that's what you would think. And on top of that, on the Google Play Store, it's actually got a pretty good rating of 4.2 out of 5. And then of course I looked at the reviews on the Google Play Store, and that definitely made me want to watch this movie. Reviews from people like a Google user, very good name. I love the movie. It has a message, no pain, no mercy. From Jake Furlong Plays, best film with a WWE superstar in it, but encouraging signs. And then of course the big one, the big 5-star review from Brian Thompson on the Google Play Store, Big Show movie. So, you know, if that doesn't make you want to watch it, what will? So, based on those amazing reviews on the Google Store, I had to watch Vendetta. Vendetta is one of the worst movies I've watched. And I seem to say that a lot lately, and I don't mean to. I went into this series with a whole open mind. Every one of these WWE films, I give them a fair chance before making a decision. You know, I go in hoping for the best. Maybe I'm hoping a little too much. I don't go in aiming to give out and bitch and moan about a movie in this series. I've got a whole other series about that. It's called The Worst Movie Ever. This is simply trying to find a movie from the WWE starring one of their own superstars, which is actually pretty good. And so far, 3 movies in, it's proven pretty difficult, because I have looked at the other ones, assessing my options for what to watch, and it's limited. If you ever wondered why Dean Cain isn't in more big-time movies, well, watch this movie and you'll figure it out. He's terrible in this movie. But then again, I don't think it's his fault, because the writing in this movie is just horrendous. The characters are horrendous. Everything about this movie is terrible. It's very similar lines to The Marine, although this one was made almost 10 years after The Marine. This film, as I stated earlier, was made in just 2015. So you would think all the technicals coming from a company, a billion-dollar company, would be sensational. They put big money into it, get the best cameras, get the best people, and they'd make a pretty good movie. Instead, they made a movie that looks like it's full of stock footage with stock music from the cheapest stock websites. It seems to be a running theme in WWE movies to have terrible music, despite the fact that the WWE hire composers and music producers to make their entrance themes. It doesn't make sense for them to have bad music, yet they constantly do. Music that seems like it's from the cheapest depths of the internet. And I haven't even got onto the story yet. But already you've probably been enlightened to what a terrible movie this is. But the basic story is, there's a bad guy, I forget his name already, I watched the movie just like 10 minutes ago. So check out this from the opening scene of the movie, where Dean Cain confronts Big Show's character for the first time, who's apparently infamous. Although generally people who are infamous don't have to tell you that they're infamous. There you go. So check out this scene.
Come on, Danvers! Is this what you want? Huh? To bring down the infamous Victor Abbott? I'm right here!
In that scene, the first thing that struck me is, why did they give Big Show a comically small gun? Now I know the Big Show is the Big Show because he's literally a giant, supposedly 7'2", but trying to make him an imposing character and giving him a tiny gun, or a gun that looks tiny in his hands, Seems kind of stupid. Why not give him a big gun, make him look like a badass? No, you give him a tiny little gun and make him look like something out of Austin Powers. This is a tiny little thing from the start which indicates the movie's gonna be really bad. So after this encounter, Big Show's character ends up getting arrested. Dean Cain is outside and he calls his wife, and the Big Show says, "I'll see you later," or some stuff like that. Long story short, Big Show kills Dean Cain's wife. So Dean Cain kills Big Show's brother. They end up in the same prison. And then for some reason, between the two of them, they end up killing everybody. You know, Big Show is like the big guy in the prison. Everyone does what he says apart from the warden, who's controlling the Big Show. And because of that, Dean Cain starts murdering everybody in the prison, despite the fact that Dean Cain was a cop. I don't know. So Dean Cain starts murdering everybody. Big Show starts murdering people as well. Everybody's getting murdered, and it ultimately ends in a riot. And during the riot, Big Show and Dean Cain fight, and then Dean Cain fights everyone else, and then the warden's there, and he's about to shoot Dean Cain, and another guy who we've seen a couple of times in the movie comes along and saves the day. And there's some pretty bad dialogue. So, Vendetta, pretty terrible movie. If you love terrible movies and terrible dialogue and terrible acting, I'd highly recommend checking it out. But there we go, another terrible WWE film in the bag. Maybe someday I'll find a good WWE film starring a WWE superstar and we can praise it to the moon. If you've seen Vendetta, let me know your thoughts on the film in the comments below. And if you have a recommendation for a WWE film to check out, let me know in the comments below. And of course, guys, like always, if you liked today's video, please hit that like button just so I know what you're watching. If you're new to movie film, check out some of the other content on our channel. And of course, if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button to help us grow. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. And with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching.